Bidi. Extract from May 14, 2023 Bidi Online. Extract, the Prophecies and the event. Sister. Hello Bidi, can you tell us what prophecies remain that have not yet arrived and that will lead us to the event, and can it still take months or even years? Bidi. Although no one knows the date, there are obviously time markers for there to be this famous convergence and the appearance of visible Nibiru. It is not so much about the awakening of volcanoes or the sinking of certain islands in the Pacific, but much more of an event seen by the prophets which, whatever you think, cannot be changed, and which concerns human society in its totality, accompanying of course all the others like the drift of the poles, the approach of Nibiru and the various signs quoted in the Apocalypse. This is of course an event programmed by humans. I've said it and I'll say it again, it's about the outbreak of World War III with nuclear fire. Some say that the Third World War has already started for more than a year, but the element which will, if I can say so and it is the case to say it, will set the fire to the gunpowder, will be the triggering of the nuclear fire in Europe. It depends on a man fully aware of the prophecies, fully aware of his role, and everything is hanging on his finger. Nobody knows the time, it's all in progress. At that time, there will be a precipitation of events, for the consciousness, for the celestial signs, for the shifting of the poles, as for the other signs which have been communicated to you widely by the commander of the ancients and by the archangel Anael. This is where you are, this is where we all are. As the commander said, the whole of creation, the whole of the intergalactic confederation is at the bedside of the earth and of man, awaiting or dreading this moment. It can be a matter of hours, days, weeks, months, or even a few parcels of years. Nobody knows the date, even the one in charge of the button doesn't know it, even if he knows it's him. You suspect well that within the history of the so-called end of time, a certain number of actors quoted by your prophecies stand ready to return to the scene. You have all of this in all the prophecies of all the religions, without any exception. So of course, some dreamers tell you that these prophecies are no longer valid. They are seriously mistaken, everyone must pass through the narrow door, the whole of creation, the whole of the dimensions, the whole of the worlds, concretizing and actualizing what had been named by the source, the oath and the promise. And you can well imagine that you are in these critical times. These are extremely intense moments, both for those who perceive the energies and those who only watch the theater stage. The fluctuations are important, the phases of compression of the consciousness itself, as indicated and explained by the commander, give fluctuations of this consciousness and energy that's absolutely staggering, more and more intense, for some more and more confusing and tiring, as if everything that made the benchmarks of your individual and collective dream had to smash against the real. The commander has warned you for many years that as the chaos grows, as you will be able to access silence and peace, or if you prefer, the great void. And that is exactly what is taking place. This is what I can once again specify today. Sister. Bidi, thank you, but just a quick question. This man who is going to press the button, is he a good person or is he crazy? Bidi. What is he? Sister. Crazy. Bidi. I didn't understand the last word, you both spoke at the same time. Sister. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, fool, fool. Bidi. Why would he be mad? I specified that he knew the meaning of his mission. Sister. Yes. Like Judas. Bidi. Why use that crazy expression? It is certainly the most sensible that exists on this planet in the human sense. Sister. Thank you, Bidi, but we could ask ourselves the question a bit like Judas in relation to Jesus. Bidi. Not at all, he knows the Prophecies much better than any of you. Sister. Okay, thank you very much. Bidi. This is the role and the function of his country. He knows what is called the fight of all against all, he knows the virtue, I would say rectifier of his country. It has been perfectly described in countless Prophecies. I repeat, the prophets and the Prophecies could not tell you that there never was a creation. At most Christ could have said at one time that your kingdom was not of this world nor of any world. It was a symbolic and allegorical language because it could not be otherwise. Today, thanks to your screens, thanks to the image, the dissemination of information is almost immediate from one end of the earth to the other. This element was also important for conveying information, and good or bad news depending on where you are looking from. I answered. Sister. Thank you my Bidi, thank you very much my Bidi. Channeling by Jean-Luc Ayoun in French. Translated through Google Translate from original text at https://apotheose.live. Many thanks to the Les Petits Mains transcription team.